In a world dominated by competition, ambition, and the unrelenting pursuit of power, understanding the laws of human interaction is no longer a choice, it's a necessity. If you want to outsmart others, rise above the rest, and dominate in today's high-stakes game, then the time-tested principles of one man can guide your every move. That man is Niccolò Machiavelli. Born in 1469 in Florence, Italy, Niccolò Machiavelli wasn't just a diplomat, philosopher, or historian. He became the mastermind behind some of the most cutting-edge political strategies of his time. His most famous work, The Prince, has been hailed as a blueprint for power, one that reveals how rulers gain, maintain, and manipulate power. But why has this work endured centuries of scrutiny? Because in today's world, the game of power is more psychological than ever. From the boardroom to the political arena, from business deals to personal relationships, understanding the human mind and its deepest motivations is the key to success. And that's exactly what Machiavelli taught us: how to understand human nature, how to play the game, and how to rise to the top. But let's be clear, Machiavelli wasn't a villain. He wasn't advocating for mindless cruelty or villainous deception. His philosophy isn't about doing evil for the sake of evil. It's about achieving power in a world where survival and success are anything but guaranteed. His teachings are about playing the game smarter, understanding the rules, and sometimes using them to your advantage, even if it means playing a bit dirty. In the 21st century, Machiavellianism has evolved into more than just an ancient political strategy. It's become a blueprint for outsmarting the competition in a world where influence is everything. Machiavellian principles aren't just found in history. They are alive and thriving today. Now, you may be asking, what exactly does Machiavellianism mean? At its core, Machiavellianism refers to the strategic use of manipulation, cunning, and calculated deception to achieve power and control. It's about understanding how people think, how they act, and how you can influence them without them even realizing it. But it's more than just manipulation. It's about understanding human psychology, knowing how to play on emotions, perceptions, and weaknesses. It's about reading the situation, adapting to the circumstances, and positioning yourself to be in control at all times. In today's fast-paced, high-stakes world, those who understand Machiavellian principles can move faster, think clearer, and outmaneuver everyone else. Whether you're negotiating a business deal, climbing the corporate ladder, or simply trying to get ahead in life, these principles give you the edge you need to succeed. But it's not just about winning at all costs. It's about being smart enough to know when to make your move and how to get what you want without anyone realizing the game you're playing. I know what you're thinking. Isn't Machiavellianism all about ruthlessness and deception? While Machiavelli did emphasize the use of force when necessary, His overall philosophy wasn't about cruelty. It was about pragmatism, doing whatever is necessary to survive and rise to power. It's about knowing when to act, when to hold back, and how to manipulate situations to your benefit. It's not about being ruthless just for the sake of it. It's about doing what's required to get ahead. This is where history offers us valuable lessons. Take, for example, the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. A master strategist, Napoleon used Machiavellian tactics throughout his career. His ascent to power wasn't based solely on military might, but on his ability to manipulate the political landscape of Europe, outsmart his enemies, and position himself as a leader who couldn't be stopped. Even when his army was defeated in Russia, his ability to play the game of power kept him relevant for a time. Napoleon understood Machiavellianism like few others. He knew that to stay in power, he had to keep his enemies guessing, to control the narrative, and to always be prepared to strike when the time was right. This is what we're going to dive into. These timeless strategies that, when applied correctly, can propel you ahead in any field. We'll break down 21 powerful secrets, each one designed to give you the tools to outsmart anyone, to understand the hidden dynamics of power, and to navigate this complex world with unmatched precision. Are you ready to learn how to control the game? To outthink your competition? To master the art of Machiavellianism and become the one everyone else is trying to outsmart? Let's begin. Influence. It's the invisible force that drives every interaction. Whether it's the decision to sign a contract, cast a vote, or even change a mind, influence is the silent power that shapes our world. In this chapter, we explore the first few laws that Machiavelli outlined in The Prince, the core strategies that can give you the ability to influence and control others. But remember, it's not enough to merely be in the room. You must know how to dominate the room. It all begins with presence. You've heard the phrase, "First impressions are everything." Well, for Machiavelli, this wasn't just a saying, it was a law of power. First impressions set the stage for everything that follows. The way people perceive you in the first few moments can dictate how they treat you, how they think of you, and ultimately, how you will influence them. According to Machiavelli, you must make an impression that leaves no doubt about your power, your status, and your capabilities. When you enter a room, people are subconsciously sizing you up. How do you present yourself? Are you a figure to be reckoned with, or someone to be easily overlooked? It's not just about what you say, it's how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. Confidence in your body language, a steady gaze, and a strong, deliberate handshake all speak volumes about who you are and what you can bring to the table. The key is to project an aura of authority and competence from the very start. This creates respect. And respect, my friend, is the first step toward influencing others. But first impressions aren't enough on their own. To truly influence others, you must control how people perceive you, both in the room and outside it. This is where reputation becomes a tool of power. Your reputation is more than a reflection of your character. It is the weapon that precedes you. It is the story people tell about you when you're not around. If you can control your image, you control how people approach you, how they deal with you. In the digital age, managing your reputation is easier and more challenging than ever. One wrong move can tarnish years of hard work. But when you understand the power of reputation, you can cultivate an image that makes others respect and fear you without them even knowing why. Reputation is not just about what others see. It's about how you control the narrative. Cultivate an image that is larger than life. Be the person others look up to, the person who has an aura of mystery, authority, and respect. And then there's flattery, the art of using compliments to your advantage. Flattery may seem like a simple social tool, but when used strategically, it can become an incredibly powerful weapon in your Machiavellian arsenal. The idea is not to shower people with fake praise, but to understand how and when to flatter them, so they feel good about themselves, and, more importantly, feel good about you. By making others feel superior, they're more likely to feel grateful, more trusting, and more willing to align themselves with your interests. But here's the key. Flattery isn't about being a yes man. It's about subtly making others feel they're the ones in control, even when, in reality, you are pulling the strings. And then there's charisma. Charisma isn't just an inborn trait. It's a skill that can be learned, honed, and perfected to influence others deeply. Charisma is magnetic. It draws people to you and makes them want to follow you, trust you, and believe in your vision. Charismatic leaders have a way of making people feel special, like they matter. They use their charm to create bonds that are difficult to break. But charisma isn't just about being charming. It's about inspiring confidence. It's about making others feel that they are part of something bigger than themselves. When you can do that, you'll find that people are naturally drawn to you, and that influence will follow. But how do you cultivate this influence, this power to shape perceptions and decisions? The key is not just understanding these laws, but living them. And that starts with mastering the art of persuasion, using your presence, reputation, and charisma to quietly shape every interaction. Each of these elements, first impressions, reputation, flattery, and charisma, are more than just superficial traits. They are tools that, when used with precision, will make you a force to be reckoned with in any room. Remember, influence isn't just about talking louder than others. It's about understanding the subtle cues, the hidden dynamics, and knowing exactly when to make your move. By the end of this chapter, you'll realize that every interaction, every conversation, and every deal is an opportunity to reshape your influence. The next step in mastering Machiavellianism is understanding how the mind of a strategist works. Power isn't only in what you do, it's in how you think. The Machiavellian mind doesn't rush, doesn't panic, doesn't react. It calculates. It waits. It moves when everyone else hesitates. And when it moves, it strikes precisely where it hurts the most. Machiavellian believed that those who truly rise to power aren't the strongest or the loudest. They are the most strategic. They see 5 steps ahead while everyone else is still deciding their first move. And this mindset is built on discipline, patience, and perception. When Niccolò Machiavelli wrote The Prince, he wasn't writing from a throne. He was in exile, cast out, powerless, watching the political games of Florence from the sidelines. But here's the twist. Exile didn't break him, it refined him. Instead of mourning his fall, he studied those who had power, the kings, the popes, the generals. He studied how they rose, how they ruled, and how they fell. And he discovered something that changed everything. Power doesn't belong to those who deserve it. It belongs to those who understand it. That's the Machiavellian mindset, the ability to turn disadvantage into opportunity, to outthink chaos, and to act with precision when others act on emotion. Let's start with the first principle of this mindset, patience. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors the prepared mind, not the impulsive one. The most dangerous move you can make is to act out of emotion. A true Machiavellian knows when to wait and, more importantly, when to strike. Consider Julius Caesar. When his enemies demanded he return to Rome without his army, a command meant to humiliate him, Caesar waited. He didn't respond immediately. He calculated. And then, when the timing was perfect, he crossed the Rubicon River, a single, irreversible act that transformed him from general to emperor. That's patience with purpose. Waiting not because you're afraid, but because you're setting the stage. Every delay, every silence is a weapon in disguise. In a world addicted to instant gratification, the long game has become a lost art. But this is where Machiavellians thrive. Because they see the game as a series of movements, not moments. They know that sometimes losing one battle positions you to win the war. When others are desperate for quick wins, you think in decades. You plan in silence. You let others chase applause while you chase control. This is how empires are built. Not overnight, but over time, through patience and persistence. Now this one separates amateurs from masters. Every person has a weakness, an insecurity, an ego, a secret fear. A Machiavellian mind learns to identify these pressure points and use them, not necessarily to destroy others, but to guide their behavior. Manipulation doesn't always look malicious. Sometimes it's wrapped in kindness. You praise someone not because they earned it, but because it makes them open their guard. You let them feel in control, even as you quietly direct their choices. Machiavelli called this governing through the passions of others. If you understand what drives a person, what they crave, what they fear, you can predict their every move. You can control the narrative without lifting a finger. And the most powerful people in history have done exactly that. There's one law that every Machiavellian holds sacred. Never underestimate your enemies, and never push them too far away. When you keep your enemies close, you gain visibility. You study their habits, their allies, their weaknesses. But more importantly, you control the flow of information. You make them comfortable enough to reveal what they shouldn't. Lorenzo de' Medici, the ruler of Florence during Machiavelli's time, understood this better than anyone. When his enemies plotted against him, he invited them to banquets, offered them favors, and earned their trust. Then, when the time was right, he neutralized them completely. No open war, no scandal, just silence. That's not cruelty, that's control. A Machiavellian never wastes energy on open conflict when subtle manipulation achieves the same goal with half the cost. In the modern world, this means staying aware of your competitors, your critics, even your detractors. Never block them out. Instead, draw them in. Keep them where you can see them. Because the moment you turn your back, they stop being predictable. The Machiavellian mindset is not about cruelty. It's about strategy. It's about outthinking your opponents before they even know a game is being played. It's about patience, perception, and the willingness to play the long game, even if it means playing alone. But remember this, the greatest danger to a Machiavellian isn't the enemy you can see. It's the ally you trust too much. Because sometimes the knife that ends your reign doesn't come from the shadows. It comes from the hand you once held. Next, we step deeper into the architecture of power, where control isn't just maintained, it's built piece by piece. Power isn't something you stumble into. It's something you build, intentionally, brick by brick. And once you have it, the real challenge begins, keeping it. Let's step into the darker, sharper edge of Machiavellian strategy. The side that deals with fear, secrecy, division, and control. People will love you when it's easy. They will respect you when they have to. But they fear you only when they believe you're capable of decisive action. Machiavelli wrote that it is far safer to be feared than loved, if you must choose. Fear doesn't mean cruelty. It means consequences. It means others know you're not to be played with. Respect keeps people loyal. Fear keeps people obedient. And the balance of the two keeps you untouchable. But here's the trick. Fear must never become hatred. Hatred breeds rebellion. Fear breeds control, and control is the foundation of power. United rivals are dangerous. Divided rivals are predictable. Machiavelli believed that one of the most effective strategies in maintaining power is to keep your opponents fighting among themselves. When people compete for your approval, they're too distracted to unite against you. When they distrust each other, you become the only stable force in the room, and that, by itself, makes you indispensable. Do not let alliances form against you. If they start to form, fracture them. Gently, quietly, strategically. The quickest way to lose your life or your job is to make the person above you feel threatened. Machiavelli warned that any display of superiority can provoke insecurity, jealousy, or retaliation. Your goal is to become valuable, but not dangerous. Capable, but not threatening. Smart, but grateful. When your superior feels safe with you, they open doors. When they feel insecure, they close them. The real influence often belongs not to the one on the throne, but to the one whispering behind it. The quickest way to lose power is to reveal your intentions too early. Machiavellian insisted that secrecy is the strategist's best friend. The moment people understand your plans, they can prepare against you, slow you down, or steal your ideas. Silence isn't weakness, it's insulation. It protects your goals from sabotage and protects you from premature judgment. In power, mystery is leverage. When others can't predict you, they can't stop you. Power is never permanent. It changes shape, it shifts, it evolves. That's why the Machiavellian mind must remain flexible. You can't cling to one strategy forever. You must adjust to new rivals, new environments, and new rules. Let us explore the tools and techniques that make adaptation possible, the laws that turn strategy into action. This is where the game becomes real. For centuries, these 21 Machiavellian secrets have shaped the lives of rulers, moguls, and master strategists. But what about you? How can you apply these timeless principles to your own life in the modern world? In the world of today, the game of power looks different. The stakes are high, the players are more hidden, and the rules are shifting. But the core of Machiavelli's philosophy remains unbroken. If you want to succeed, to outsmart the competition, and to rise above, you must adapt these 21 secrets to today's world. And that starts with the mind of a true strategist. Adaptation is your first and most powerful tool. When circumstances change, so must your strategy. The game isn't static, and neither should you be. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. So the question is, how do you remain one step ahead? In business, in politics, and in personal relationships, the rules shift constantly. If you cling to old tactics when the world changes, you'll be left behind. The Machiavellian mind knows this. It's always scanning, always adjusting, always staying fluid. That's how you control the present and prepare for the future. Adaptation doesn't mean abandoning your core values. It means adjusting your approach to achieve the same goal, no matter how the landscape changes. It's not about sticking to a plan, it's about getting results. Negotiation is a battlefield where the Machiavellian thrives. It's not about talking louder or having the most persuasive arguments. It's about leveraging information, timing, and subtle pressure to control the outcome. You don't need to force your way into negotiations. You need to control the flow. Understand the other party's weaknesses, their desires, their fears. Use this knowledge as leverage, guiding them toward the deal you want. Leverage isn't about dominating the conversation. It's about knowing when to speak, when to remain silent, and when to let the other person reveal their hand.
The greatest negotiators aren't those who talk the most. They're those who listen and then use what they've heard to gain the upper hand. Power is built on control, but true control comes from making others uncertain of your next move. Unpredictability keeps your opponents on their toes and prevents them from making their own plans. In life and business, predictability can be your greatest enemy. The moment your rivals know exactly how you'll react, they can prepare and counter. When you're unpredictable, you're always a step ahead, always out of their reach. The key here is to maintain an air of mystery. Let others second-guess your intentions. Let them wonder. And while they're busy doing that, you make your next move. Great power comes with calculated risks. The Machiavellian does not shy away from risk, but every move is calculated with precision. The secret is not to avoid risk. It's to understand it, to analyze it, and to make decisions based on long-term outcomes, not short-term fear. Calculated risks are the foundation of innovation, of breakthrough moments, and of growth. Risks aren't calculated with emotion, they're calculated with logic. The Machiavellian knows the difference between a gamble and a smart move. And when you can identify the risks worth taking, you position yourself ahead of the crowd. People are not just tools to be discarded or manipulated. They're assets. If you can understand what motivates others, you can guide their actions and decisions in a way that benefits you both. The Machiavellian mind knows that everyone has a hidden agenda. And when you align their agenda with yours, you both win. It's not manipulation, it's collaboration. It's knowing when to give and when to take. By using others as stepping stones, giving them what they need, while subtly guiding them toward your own ends, you can create a network of allies who will help you rise to the top. Remember, the best leaders are not the ones who do everything themselves. They're the ones who use others to make it happen. In power, there's no room for hesitation. The greatest threat is the one you don't see coming. A true Machiavellian neutralizes potential threats before they can grow, using subtlety and foresight. By anticipating who or what might stand in your way, you take action before it becomes a problem. It's not about attacking immediately. It's about preparing the groundwork so that by the time a threat appears, it's already neutralized. In the Machiavellian playbook, Rewards and punishments are tools to be wielded with precision. They are the subtle forces that keep others in line, that drive loyalty, and that prevent rebellion. Rewards make people loyal. Punishments remind them of their place. The secret is knowing how to use them at the right moment without going too far. The Machiavellian knows that maintaining the balance between love and fear is key to keeping control. Vulnerability is power's greatest enemy. To be seen as weak, as unsure, is to invite chaos and failure. The Machiavellian never reveals their true struggles. Show your strength, your resolve, your ability to handle any challenge, even when it feels like the world is crumbling around you. Vulnerability is reserved for those who have already lost their power. For you, it is a tool to be hidden away. Opportunities are fleeting, and they come with little warning. The true Machiavellian does not wait for them to be handed over. They seize them when they appear, without hesitation or doubt. The world is full of opportunities, but it's up to you to recognize them, take action, and capitalize before anyone else has the chance to. Those who wait are left behind. Mastering the art of power means understanding all of these laws and applying them at the right time. Now, the question is, are you ready to play the game?
Now that you know the 21 Machiavellian secrets to outsmart everyone in today's world, it's up to you to put them into action. These principles can shape your destiny, if you dare to use them. But remember, knowledge is power only when it's shared. If you found these secrets valuable, don't keep them to yourself. Like this video, share it with those who need to learn these timeless strategies, and hit that subscribe button so you can keep mastering the art of power. Join the community of strategic minds who are already using these laws to take control of their lives. Subscribe, and let's outsmart the competition together.